Hey guys, so here we go with another lesson. Algebra 2, we're going to start with quadratics. Go ahead and get your Desmos calculator up and open because we're going to be using a lot of that. My tip for today, don't sweat the small things, like this class. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, but it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. There are, other things more important these days than this. So if you ever need, extra time or whatever, remember, I'm not being super strict with deadlines, but try to stay as close to deadlines as possible. So, we're going to start with quadratics, jumping into these quad 4. So it happens to be unit 4, which is nice. Matches. And we're going to be doing most of this first section will be done in the calculator. So make sure you have a calculator, preferably Desmos, because it's just much easier to show you how to do it on Desmos. And you need to do it with me so that way you remember easier how to do it. So, to start out, we're going to do a little bit of highlighting. If we want to get the solutions to an equation, okay, and this should be review, but solutions are just where the equations meet. When you have two equations, that's where the solution is. But when you only have one equation, it's wherever you intersect the x-axis. So we're going to fill that in. The solutions are where it intersects the x-axis. These also have other names known as zeros. So if the directions say to find the zeros, or if it says find the roots, not tree roots, but yeah, sorry, I don't know what connection to make with that, but that's just, or the x-intercepts. All of these words, and this is huge for the Algebra 2 tests and SOL, is that, and you can have more than one, okay? X-intercepts, usually there's more than one, okay? But sometimes there could be only one. But those are where the solutions. All of these mean the same thing in math. Zeros, roots, and x-intercepts, okay? So to show you kind of an example of what it could look like, the graph could look like, and the number of solutions it would contain would be, and actually real quick, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the x-axis on each of these, because remember, that's the where we're going to find our solutions, here on the x-axis, not the y-axis, okay? Not the y-axis, only the x-axis. X contains the solutions. Alright, for example, a quadratic. Now, just in case you don't remember what a quadratic is, yeah, let's do this. Y equals x. The quadratic means you always have x squared. Okay, so let's add that. This is your standard graph of a quadratic. Okay, so there's no other numbers, no negatives. It's just plain old x squared. So this is our base graph. And then, of course, the equation can contain other stuff. But it's a parabola. Okay, so hopefully you remembered that. If the parabola is down like this, where the vertex of the parabola is like down here, it would intersect in two places, so your two solutions would be here and here, okay? So maybe I should delete that dot so you don't get confused. Let's see if I can. Delete, there we go, yes. Alright. I don't want you to think that was a solution, that was the vertex. So your two solutions are here and here, because it intersects the x-axis twice. If the graph has one solution, most of the time it'll be sitting like this. It'll be sitting on the x-axis. So the vertex will be sitting on that line, and that would be a one solution. And if it has no real solutions, then it could be like this, not even going towards that line, going away from that line. So no intersections would be no solutions. Alright, hopefully that makes sense to you in terms of x-axis and finding solutions. So these say find the solutions to each quadratic equation by graphing. So this will be similar to finding the x-intercepts of your linear equations. So, of course, f of x, don't freak out. That's the same thing as y. So, for Desmos, we're just going to put y instead. Y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3. We're just going to go straight to graphing. Plus 2x minus 3. Okay, so see how our parabola, the vertex, changed location. It was here, and now it's here. And we'll get into why and how we can figure that stuff out a little bit later. But we have this. So the question is, what are the solutions? Okay, so we're looking at this, and we see it looks like it has how many? How many times does it cross the x-axis? Crosses twice, here and here. So we might be able to, in some cases, you should be able to click this and see, oh, I got an intersection here, intersection here. Oh, that's so nice. Yay, and they just read them right off to me. Okay, so clicking that graph will, and these other points, I mean, they show you the vertex, they show you intercepts, y-intercept, so that's nice, but we really only need these. So our solutions are, and since it's always, the solution is always on the x-axis, we're not really worried about the 0 part of it, because that's always going to be, the y value will always be 0 in this case. So our solutions are -3 and 1. So, again, and I'm not really worried about this either. So we're just going to say -3 and 1. That's all you have to do. Yeah, I may have you copy this down. I mean, potentially I could. So now that I'm thinking about it, and that shouldn't be too difficult. The main thing I want you to do is plot your vertex. So -1, -4. These are the points I'm really concerned about. The vertex, and then the two answers, -3 and 1, and or however many answers you got, and then just go ahead and connect and make your parabola like that. So that's just if I ask you to graph it on paper. Give me at least those points to have a good idea, visual of your parabola. Okay? Alright, hopefully that was not too bad. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and do a number 2. Go ahead and type this one into Desmos. And if you're doing these in the regular calculator, you will push y equals, the top left-hand button, and you will just type them in like they are, because y is by itself, or f of x is by itself. You just type in all that into y equals. And then on the upper right-hand corner, you push graph. So, that's that. Let's see, so we have, I'm just going to add this in there. -x squared minus 10x. Minus 25. Okay, I got it. There we go. Alright, how many solutions we got? Sitting on the x-axis, not intersecting twice, but it's touching it, so it's intersecting it once at -5. Alright, one solution in this case. Okay, does that make sense? So just put set notation brackets and then put your answer there. Alright. Number 3. I think you can handle it. Alright, let me look and see. I'm going to leave these for you to try and see. Yeah. I don't see anything else strange. So I think you can try the rest of these without much complications. So go ahead, pause the video, and then press play when you are ready to see the results. Alright everyone, here are your solutions for the rest of this section. So number 3, the solutions are 2 and 4, so it intersects the x-axis at 2 and 4. And then number 4 intersects at -7 and -4. Number 5 intersects at -3 and +3. Number 6 intersects at -3 and 0. And number 7 has no solutions. It does not intersect the x-axis at all. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Definitely the easiest way to figure out your solutions. Now, you might think, oh, that's so easy. Yes, it is, but there's another way that you are required to know how to get the solutions manually, and the way the SOL can trick you into doing that is to give you answer choices that involve factoring. So, you should have done factoring. You've done factoring in Algebra 1. So that's what we're going to get to next. So, to get into factoring, we're going to take some reviews. So we're going to do that in the next video. So we're going to solve for these quadratics a manual way without the graphing calculator. So, we'll be there for the next one. All right. See you next time.